In the annals of history, many battles have taken place, leaving behind intriguing artifacts. These ancient relics offer us a glimpse into the past, filled with mysteries waiting to be unraveled. Join us as we explore 5 such artifacts that remain from ancient battles. These objects hold secrets about the people and events of the past, and they continue to pique our curiosity. From weapons used in epic battles to symbols of ancient beliefs, these artifacts provide a unique window into history. Let's dive into the past and uncover the hidden stories behind these fascinating relics. The Buried Army. 2,000 years ago, in Denmark, a horrifying massacre took place. Recent archaeological discoveries have brought to light the aftermath of this brutal conflict, leaving historians both fascinated and horrified. Recent reports describe an excavation at a site known as the Meadows on Alken, and the title of the report hints at a gruesome event that occurred in the 1st century AD. This large-scale battle unfolded on a bog, and the marshy terrain has preserved the remains of the fallen, offering a haunting glimpse into their final moments. Despite the challenging waterlogged conditions, archaeologists have uncovered more than 200 skeletons, each one bearing a grim tale, with many more suspected to be buried below. An in-depth analysis of the remains indicates that many of the combatants were inexperienced in warfare, as evidenced by the absence of healed injuries and the shocking revelation that some of the fighters were mere teenagers, some as young as 13 years old. Current theories suggest that the conflict was primarily between rival tribes in the region, with no significant involvement from the Romans. However, what is profoundly unsettling is the treatment of the deceased after the battle. Evident markings on the bones reveal that the dead were left exposed for a period of 6 months to a year, subjected to the ravages of wildlife. Their bodies were horrifically mutilated, with limbs rearranged grotesquely, skulls shattered, and joints dislocated, all of which occurred post-mortem. Some bones were even severed and used as stakes. The absence of weapons and the deliberate repositioning of the remains hint at a purposeful ritual, possibly related to claiming war spoils or a ceremonial cleansing of the battlefield. As excavations continue, it is estimated that up to 1,000 bodies may still be interred beneath the Meadows on Alken. Macabre. The macabre was a unique and powerful ancient weapon, consisting of a wooden club with sharp obsidian blades embedded in it. These blades were incredibly sharp, even sharper than modern razor blades. While there were records of such weapons over the centuries, the last genuine one was lost in a fire in the late 19th century. We now have only detailed descriptions of it, dating back to 900 BC to 1570 AD. The macabre was the favored close combat weapon of Mesoamerican cultures, like the Aztecs and Mayans. It had a wooden handle about a meter long and weighed about 2 kilograms. The obsidian blades on its end were exceptionally effective at causing severe injuries. They were attached with natural adhesive, making the weapon look somewhat like a primitive chainsaw. There were variations with longer blades, spikes, or serrated edges. It was often described as a mix between a sword and a saw and could decapitate a person or even a horse. One conquistador described how native warriors used the macabre to gruesomely behead a fellow soldier's horse. Some versions of the weapon were longer and deadlier. The Aztecs used it for capturing enemies alive for ritual sacrifices by having shorter blades to keep wounds from being too deep. While replicas exist today, the last genuine macabre was lost in a fire in Madrid's Royal Armory in 1884, along with the last known to post-mortem, an Aztec spear variant. It's now believed that no real macabres remain, but their historical importance in defending Mesoamerican civilizations against Spanish conquistadors is well documented. German helmet. The scarcity of Viking helmets in historical discoveries is quite puzzling. Take the Yellow Mundo helmet, for example. It remained hidden until 1943 in Norway, carefully concealed from German treasure hunters during World War II. This significant find prompted an excavation of a nearby burial site, unveiling more than 70 artifacts, including weapons and armor, believed to belong to a prominent Viking figure. What's astonishing is that only 2 Viking helmets have ever been found, one in Norway and another in England. Despite the far-reaching influence of the Vikings, these helmets are incredibly rare. Some scholars suggest that Viking helmets might have been reserved for ceremonies rather than everyday battle use, and were likely owned by high-ranking individuals. Another theory attributes the scarcity to the spread of Christianity, which discouraged the tradition of burying possessions with the deceased. leading to fewer armor and weapon discoveries. The enigma surrounding the missing Viking helmets remains unsolved, but the hope is that future excavations and serendipitous discoveries, like the yellow Mundo helmet, may help unravel the reasons behind this historical anomaly. Y chromosome collapse. Not all artifacts are physical, but they can still have a big impact. About 7,000 years ago, something important happened that left a mark on our genes. Each human cell has 23 pairs of chromosomes that hold our genetic information. One of these pairs decides our gender, with women having 2 X chromosomes and men having 1 X and 1 Y chromosome. The Y chromosome comes from fathers to sons, tracing our paternal lineage. During this ancient time, powerful male leaders, like Genghis Khan, expanded their territories by defeating other groups. This caused a major decrease in the male population in certain areas, with some estimates suggesting it dropped to just 5%. Leadership in these societies was mainly determined by male ancestry, while women often married into different groups. Men typically stayed within their own groups, keeping the Y chromosome within their clan. However, evidence shows that Y chromosome diversity significantly dropped during this period due to a shortage of reproducing males. Some studies estimate that there were 17 women for every man at that time, leading to lasting genetic effects. Many Y chromosome lineages disappeared, and surviving groups had less diversity in their Y chromosomes over generations. This genetic bottleneck was most pronounced around 7,000 years ago, but similar events happened in different parts of the world at various times. This suggests that clan conflicts, which left a long-lasting genetic impact, were widespread across different cultures. This genetic anomaly, known as the Neolithic Y chromosome bottleneck, was only discovered in 2015. It provides strong genetic evidence of the violent clan conflicts that once shaped human societies. Meteor arrows. Back in the late 1800s, a remarkable find took place in Switzerland. It was a 3,000-year-old arrowhead discovered within a Bronze Age dwelling in Murrigan. Initially, it was regarded as just another old arrowhead, housed in the Barron Historical Museum. However, modern research techniques changed the way we saw this artifact. Advanced methods like X-ray tomography and gamma spectrometry were used to unlock its secrets. Surprisingly, the arrowhead was no ordinary relic. It was made from a meteorite that crashed into Earth roughly 3,500 years ago. Its exceptional hardness suggested it was likely used as a weapon around 800 BC and was found with remnants of pitch, indicating it was once part of an arrow. What's truly captivating is that the arrowhead's mineral composition didn't match local meteorites, suggesting it came from a distant place. Some theories propose that it might have originally landed in Estonia, over 1,400 miles away, before eventually making its way to Switzerland. Today, we delved into a captivating mix of historical and scientific topics. We began by exploring the buried army, an ancient archaeological discovery of a terracotta army in China, composed of thousands of life-size soldier figurines, each intricately detailed and dating back to the Qin dynasty. Moving into weaponry, we discussed the remarkable macabre, an Aztec weapon with obsidian-edged blades capable of inflicting devastating injuries. Shifting to Viking history, we examined the Germanic helmet, a significant archaeological find from Norway, shedding light on Viking-era warfare and culture. On the genetic front, we delved into the intriguing concept of Y chromosome collapse, a theory suggesting that human Y chromosomes could disappear in the distant future. Lastly, we explored the intriguing concept of meteor arrows, hypothetical projectiles that utilize meteors or meteorites as ammunition, sparking imaginative discussions about their potential applications in ancient warfare and science fiction. The journey of this meteoric arrowhead and its connection to historical events highlights humanity's tendency to harness discoveries for weaponry. If you're intrigued by such ancient mysteries, consider subscribing to our channel. We'd also love to hear your suggestions for future mystery investigations, so leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.